We've come out onto the reserve back to the Oxpeace Wildlife Corridor. This is a new area of habitat we created a couple of years ago to allow wildlife to move through this area. Now, a couple of seasons ago, Martin was here looking at the dragonflies which have taken up residence in the ponds and ditches, but today we're going to take a closer look at the butterflies which are used in this corridor too. In all, we've so far recorded 26 different species of butterfly here on the reserve. There'll be some species that you're familiar with, things like peacocks and red admirals and small tortoiseshells, but as we get into the real height of summer, that's where some of our specialist species start to come out in the grassland areas. Amongst these species are things like meadow browns, ringlets, gatekeepers, and one of our scarcer species on the reserve, the marbled white. Now, these are all butterflies that like to lay their eggs directly onto the grasses, so it's great to have a good mix of grasses through the headland and then lots of flowers for them to nectar on during the summer. As well as creating this corridor, we're also working on diversifying the botanical interest along the summer walkway and the seawall as well, right the way through the nature reserve. And we're monitoring that change as part of the UK's National Recording Scheme, the UK BMS. The summer walkway will be open for the rest of the summer and into the early autumn, so why not come down and see how many different species you can spot along the walkway. And don't forget to look out for some other family groups as well, things like our blues, and then head down to the Zai side, see if you can catch up with other species like speckled wood, but don't forget to look up into the trees. We look for our hair streaks there as well. And the final species for you to look out for this summer and autumn are our painted ladies. These are a migratory butterfly. They start life off down in North Africa, and with each generation they get further and further north, up through Europe, to us here in the UK, before the final generation makes an epic migration all the way back to North Africa, ready to start that migration pattern again next season. And painted ladies are also one of our easier to identify species. They're a nice big orange butterfly with black wingtips. But if you're struggling with the ID, don't forget to ask any of the volunteers that you see on site, or pop into the shop and buy one of the ID guides.